1350 again? Oh my gosh, what is even the point of studying? Hello there, my lovely overachievers. Today I'm talking to you all about score plateaus and how to break them. This is a big one, so you're going to want to grab a seat and pay attention. Before we get into this topic, just want to tell you who I am. My name is Jen. I'm a test prep tutor and I make educational content on YouTube. If you want to learn about test taking strategies, study techniques, or productivity tips, you're going to want to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell. Alright guys, let's get into this topic. If there's one concern I hear from students, it is this. Oh, I've read every book and I have done every practice test. Why is my score not budging? This is a very common problem. If you can relate, you're going to want to pay attention to my tips. I'm going to diagnose this problem for you and then give you a couple of tips that will help you overcome and break through your score plateau. All right, so tip number 1, I want you to examine your self-talk. Are you somebody who tends to catastrophize, which means you immediately jump to the worst case scenario? Maybe you are afraid that you're going to forget your admissions ticket or you're going to blank on the test, and those fears are just jumbled in your mind and they keep you up at night. That is not helpful. Or maybe you make these connections that make very little sense. You're like, okay, if I don't do well on the SAT, then I won't get into a good college, which means I won't get a good job that pays a good salary, which means I'll be homeless. So not doing well on the SAT equals homelessness, and my life is over. All right. Again, if that's you, not helpful. Know that a lot of these fears are, first of all, irrational. And then even the ones that are rational, they can be mitigated. For example, if you are afraid you're going to forget your admissions ticket, what can you do? Well, you can pack it the night before. Make sure you know exactly where it is so you don't lose track of it. What if you are afraid that you're going to blank on the test? You can develop a very robust study plan, make sure you stick with it, and if you do all the prep work, there's no reason you should blank, right? You're going to know exactly what you expect on test day when you sit your butt into that chair. So again, what this all comes down to is you have to develop really good study habits that you will consistently follow. And if you put in all that work, then you need to trust in the process, you need to trust yourself, and you need to shift your mindset so that you get out of your own way and you can perform to the best of your ability come test day. Tip number 2 is pretty closely related. It's around managing test anxiety. I have a whole video talking about this in depth because it is such a prevalent problem. And in that video, I actually walk you step by step through how you can overcome test anxiety all the way up until test day. But in this video, I just want to give you a few quick reminders. The first is I want to remind you that everybody gets nervous a little bit before a big exam. It's only normal. You just don't want to let it control you and have it become debilitating to the point where you can't focus. You know you have especially bad test anxiety if you consistently do well on homework assignments and practice exams, but on test day, you consistently underperform. For you guys, I really want you to listen closely. It's so important that you raise the stakes of your practice opportunities. So it's not enough for you to just crack open your book, take the test, TV on the background, texting your friend on the side. That is not mimicking test day scenario. What you need to do is to involve other people that can put some pressure on you and hold you accountable so that it more closely simulates the real testing environment. Maybe you'll involve a parent or a friend, have somebody proctor you live, and that will put a little bit more pressure on you. Tip number 3, I want you to really honestly reevaluate how you are studying. Are you focused? Like really focused when you are studying? Do you procrastinate and then cram a lot of information? I want you to look for patterns that aren't working and then do something about them. Here it's really important for you to look for patterns that aren't working and then try something new. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over, of course you're going to remain stagnant. You're not changing it up. So when I say try something new, it could be as simple as examining when and where you're studying and then maybe flip that around. So let's say you only study at night. Well, maybe you should try studying in the morning when your brain is a little bit fresher. Or if you only study in your room, why don't you try to relocate downstairs to the dining room where people can see you and again increase the accountability factor so that you can be a little bit more focused when you study. You can even try some new study techniques or methods. I have a video on how to use flashcards. You can incorporate that into your study routine. And then along the lines of studying, it's also important for you to take breaks. I want you to think about studying for the SAT like playing a sport. You need to exercise your brain like a muscle, but you also need to make sure you let it rest so that it can break down and digest all of that information you are feeding it. If you made it this far, you are a champ. Let me know in the comments what you're currently doing to study and if it's working or not working for you. All of that information will really benefit the community. Okay, moving on. Tip number 4. I want you to analyze your mistakes. I've said this before multiple times, in fact, because it is so important. It is not enough for you to say, oh, I missed number 10. I misread the question. Okay, why did you misread it? Did you miss a word? Why did you miss it? How do you not misread the question in the future? Hint, you're going to want to annotate the question and circle important words. Ask yourself things like, what type of question is this? What principle are they trying to test? How are they testing it? What are the tricks that they're using? Are there any clue words or trigger words in the question or the related text? These questions really help you drill down to the root cause of your mistakes so you don't make similar ones in the future. And then tip number 5, lastly, I want you to have a study buddy, okay? And the benefit here is twofold. First, you're going to, again, be able to hold each other accountable. I really want you to find somebody who may be at a similar starting point, they have similar scores, and they have similar goals as you. They are also very driven to excel on this test. And you can come up with a plan and a schedule where you're going to be studying so that you can keep each other accountable. Also, it's really important that you use the study buddy actively, meaning you can teach each other. When you teach someone, you're really reinforcing that information for yourself. If you can teach to the point where they understand, you have truly reached the pinnacle of mastering that content. Alrighty guys, there you go. My tips for how to break through that score plateau if that is something you are struggling with. I know it's a common problem, but I also know it definitely can be fixed. If you like this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!